Good afternoon, my fabulous chemistry students. Videos number 7, we are going to dig into Bohr diagrams today. Bohr was one of those famous scientists we talked about in the beginning of the unit, and we're going to start with his model of how the atom is arranged to learn real quick about some things about atoms. In what ways can we draw a model in 2 dimensions? We're going to do that in the Bohr diagram. You're going to see that this nucleus here is in green. Then we have our energy levels 1, 2, and 3 with their relative electrons in them. Okay? So, Bohr diagrams, we're going to show all of the electrons. Okay? We learned how to do electron configurations. So in oxygen, the electron configuration is 2, 6. So we need to look that up if we're going to do oxygen. Then I'm going to draw a square. And in the square, I'm going to say how many protons and neutrons does oxygen have? 8 each. Okay. Now, how many energy levels does this electron configuration tell me I have? It says I have 1 energy level and 2 energy levels. So that's not electrons, that's 2 electrons in the first energy level, 6 in the next. So we need to be able to put that into our diagram. Step 3 says using rings or shells, place the proper number of orbitals around that box that we drew. So we just went through, there's 2 orbitals. So now we have 2 orbitals. I put 2 rings around my box. Now it says put an X or a dot to represent the electrons in all the correct orbitals, right? So the first orbital has 2. So there should be 2 X's or 2 dots. You will see that I use dots usually. Then it says put 1 X at a time around on your second set. So I put 1 X at a time. I have 2, 3, this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And then if there's any remaining, we did need 6, right? Total in this shell. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total. I was going around the other way. That's okay. 8 total electrons because I had 2-6. Okay, 8 total electrons. I did put 2 of them in my first shell, like it says, and then I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my second shell, just like it shows me. So I can follow the map of the electron configuration to put them in. Now, it asks you to do some practice. I want to go back here real quick. I want you to see real quick how we can do this fast. Ready? Here's a shortcut. If I draw an XY axis here, okay, this is how I was taught to do these, that would look like this. And then if I draw in my energy levels, I could go like this. See, there's 2 energy levels, and you see how that's kind of a cutout? And now let's put in our electrons just like we would in this big circular fashion. So 2 electrons in my first energy level. We did that here and here. And then I have 6 electrons in my second energy level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You now have 2 options of how you're going to draw your Bohr diagram. I will accept this version, and I will accept that version. To me, those are synonymous. So you have to do that here. I will do 1 of them or 2 of them for you real quick. Ready? Carbon, I know, has 6 protons, and it has 6 neutrons. And when I look up its electron configuration, I see it says 2-4. So I can draw a box and say 6 P's and 6 N's. I have 1, 2 energy levels, so that's 2 circles. Then I'm going to draw my electrons in a different color till we get real good at this. I got to put the first 2 together on the inner one, and then I need 1 at a time around till I get to the 4. Okay? That's what it should look like. Next one I'm going to do in um the shortcut version I showed you. So AL, I'm going to jump all the way over to AL. AL says I have 13 protons, and it has a mass of 27, so it must be 14 neutrons, okay? And it has an electron configuration of 2, 8, 3. So I'm going to draw my XY axis. I have 1, 2, 3 energy levels, so 1, 2, 3. This represents the circles that are around the box, right? And then I have to start filling in. So the first one I have 2 electrons. The next one I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next one I have 3. 1, 2, 3. I will accept either of those answers, whichever one works best for you. Now, down here, these bottom 3, I see ions. So there's going to be a game changer with my electrons. So let me do calcium real quick. I see calcium. Looking at my handy dandy reference tables, I see calcium is got 20 protons, and it has a mass of 40, so it must have 20 neutrons. It has a charge of 2, 8, 8, 2. Now I misspoke. Of course, it's not the charge. That's my electron configuration. But in order to get a +2 charge, I must lose 2 electrons. Notice I lost an energy level because of that. So this is going to look like this. 1, 2, 3 energy levels. 2 in the first one, 8 in the next 2. Okay? So that is an ion, but notice I lost this to make the charge. So now you got to figure out what I'm going to do when at this plus charge and this -2 charge. But we are thoroughly versed now in Bohr diagrams. All you need is some more practice, and you'll be able to distinguish between atoms and ions using Bohr diagrams. See you guys tomorrow in school.